While often used by growers interchangeably, the terms mode of action and site of action refer to two different herbicide processes. Site of action is the most important aspect when it comes to managing resistant weeds. Understanding the distinction is vital to developing a herbicide plan that effectively manages resistance on your operation. Let's start with mode of action, or MOA. This includes all herbicide interactions with the plant, from application to final effect. The mode of action involves absorption into the plant, translocation or movement in the plant, metabolism of the herbicide, and the physiological plant response. There are 10 modes of action. Now, what is site of action, or SOA? It's the specific process in plants that the herbicide disrupts to interfere with plant growth and development. The SOA is the most important aspect of herbicides when dealing with prevention and control of herbicide-resistant weeds. There are 20-plus sites of action.
Herbicides are classified in different categories. We start off with a mode of action, followed by site of action, and then your herbicide families. Oftentimes we use mode of action and site of action terminology interchangeably. However, it's important to understand that they mean different things. In layman's term, mode of action represents how a herbicide kills a plant, and the site of action represents how specifically within the plant pathway that herbicide is acting and leading to plant control. We have 10 modes of action available. 8 of those are commonly used, but then we have 18 different sites of action. So for instance, some of the modes of action have multiple sites of action within them. So mode of action is a broader category, and the site of action is a more specific category within the different modes of action that are available.
The National Weed Science Society has numbered each group of herbicides under the same MOA and SOA for ease of reference when planning your herbicide program. As a grower, it's important to read labels and have these types of resources on hand. Primarily, growers will need to understand how different sites of action work and what species they are effective in controlling. This helps them develop an effective herbicide program that combats their troublesome weeds and improve yields while managing resistance issues.
We have several cases of herbicide resistance out there. It's been about 30 years since the last site of action became available to us in the row crop production world. So my point here is that the tools are very limited. The weeds keep on evolving resistance, so we got to look back at our programs and see how we're diversifying it, because what we want to do, we want to maintain those tools that are effective for as long as possible in our toolbox.
A long-term solution to fighting weeds means properly using different sites of action. After those sites of action are identified, think about those various modes of action they lie within and invest in these.
That's going to help you achieve better levels of weed control. Research has shown over and over that premixes are more effective. And when thinking about weed management, it's all about seed bank management. It's not only this year's reducing that weed competition with the crop, it's also minimizing the seed production at the end of the year, because once you have seed in the seed bank, those seeds tend to emerge for the subsequent years. Some weeds will last 2-3 years in the seed bank, some may last 10-15 years in the seed bank. So it's always important to make sure we prevent those weeds from reproducing and setting new seeds into our systems. That's going to be the most sustainable.
Learn more about our herbicides on the cropscience.bayer.us website.